Yeah,
You driving there tonight?
Yeah, this is going home.
Not my home.
This is not her home now. This is not her
I'm like
home.
23 minutes away.
Yo, Leah got it the best right now. She
does.
She do a skip, a hop. I'm not that far. I'm on Atlantic.
Ooh.
That's a bob still.
No, it's like 11 minutes.
Whatever. I drive so far. Hey everyone, it's Lee. This is Let Us Say It For You.
This is Big Mike.
Big Mike. And guess what, guys? For the third time, a three-peat.
It's Carlem.
We have Haitian Poppy. And we're going to ask him again. Are you single?
I plead the fifth.
All right. So it sounds like a no, girls. But
who is asking.
He's a great guy.
What's she looking like?
Oh, here we go. He's a great guy. My friend since middle school. We go way back, like 4 flats on a Cadillac. Yes. So we're going to shoot the shit again because Carlem is a very intuitive man. Is he not? Are you not, Carlem?
I think I am.
I think he is. Michael, what you think? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So...
Tell me what I was saying because he totally. Boom. So it's so everybody says, oh yeah, all my mom's advice didn't kick in, so I was 30. Like we've been hearing our moms and our dads tell us certain things, or our grandmother or aunts or uncles tell us certain things. You gonna know when it happens. All right, cool. Be fast. Like they tell us little things all the time.
But even that to me, that's a cultural thing too because it's not. I don't feel like that's not how advice was given from my mom. Like my mom literally was kind of on some whatever the fuck I say.
Yeah, they beat it.
Yeah, that's how it goes. And my thing is, hear me out, cause hear me out. I understand you weren't raised that way. Shout out to you.
I was
but
not.
My mom didn't. It wasn't beat into me. Colin probably got his ass beat because he was a guy, right? It wasn't beat into me, but it was I say what the fuck I say goes, and that's it, right? And I'm raising my child with an American. And his parents gave him this whole, well, you're going to learn one day and you're going to see it.
But they still get, but there's a difference because that sounds like I'm not teaching you at all.
No,
what it sounds like.
It's exactly what you just said.
So what I'm saying to that is I'm going to tell you what I think should happen, and whatever happens to you after I told you, that's what I'm saying. So I'm saying our parents are not teaching us things. They are.
I'm not saying.
And then they come back with the rebuttal as you'll learn.
What I'm saying is the delivery is different. And I feel like as the delivery is different, the results are different.
I agree.
Because who?
I agree.
Right. Now, we've talked about you multiple times. You're not the ignorant blacks we're talking about. Right? We've established that you're not. But we know so many of them. And I'm just going based off. I'm not calling my daughter's dad ignorant black, but I am calling he was definitely raised in a way different way. And now we're raising a child together. So I'm obviously raising my kid the way I was raised. There's not too many options than I had when it came to certain shit at certain ages. Whatever the fuck my mama told me to do is what the fuck I had to do. Manny was given options multiple times. Like you said, I forgot who he said, just decided, Meek. Meek at 14 said he's going to move out. Carlem said his mama would have never. That Haitian lady wasn't playing that shit. There's no fucking way.
I would have got killed.
Me or if my mom had a son, it would have been the same way. You don't get to tell me what the fuck you about to do at 14.
So
my daughter's dad moved out, I think, at like 16 or 17, said he was moving out to go live with his girlfriend. What the fuck?
Okay, so
you don't get to do that.
So then this goes back to what do you do when your kids does what they want to do, regardless of how you rear them. People rear people the right way and they end up being serial killers.
I've seen that type of scenario come up more so with Americans. I don't see it come up as often with Jamaicans. There's a fear for some reason with our fucking parents.
Because your life is harder.
I agree with that 100%. Because even with me and my kid's mom, right? She would be more towards. I mean, she's Jamaican. She's Jamaican. Yeah, she would be more towards you, and for me, I guess I would be more towards a white American. I'm the fun dad, and I'm free.
Fun dads are so annoying.
Here's my thing, right? Because my mom's a Gemini. My mom's born a day after me.
Oh, that's so cute.
So my mom and my dad, they were completely different. My mom was the Taurian, where you're gonna do what I want to do. You're gonna do what I tell you. I'm gonna beat your ass. And I got to the point where I was just immune to it.
Yeah,
because she didn't beat you
whatever.
I'm like, go ahead. Right.
I'm
and
gonna do what I want to do.
Beat me.
My dad was always a thinker. Quiet. He's gonna in there. That's why
that sound like Manny.
I like what you said about the delivery thing, because like for me, I don't like texting.
I understand. Michael doesn't either.
I always have to put LOL to make sure everything's good.
Yes, agreed.
Agreed.
Let's call real quick and
hear my tone
and hear your tone, right?
Let's get it right the first time.
Where I've probably gotten whooped by my dad maybe twice in my life. My mom, maybe
70,000 times.
77 a year. But I feared my dad more than my mom.
Yeah.
Because my dad, what he did was he just sat there. He's like, okay, what do you like? I used to like watching TV. And that's why when y'all said the whole movie thing, I don't know nothing. I don't watch no movies as an adult because when I was young, no. My dad was like, oh, you like TV? Okay, cool. I need this grade, that grade, that grade. If you don't get it, you get no TV. He cuts off the cord. So I would go, like middle school, I would go like 3-4 months until I got my grades to what it needed to be. There would be no TV. So at that time, if you gave me the option where you get whooped or not watch TV, I would have been like, yo, just beat my ass. Let me watch TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
you learn the pain and you get over it.
For me, I've never laid a hand on my kids because I'm like, it does not work. Because
I'm not with my kids.
When I look at me and my sister's a saint. Like, my sister spends like 9 months out the year in other countries volunteering.
She is
like, she's just the opposite of me.
It's who she is. Who she
right?
She's the opposite of you.
And that was the one thing I learned in I remember at a psychology class at BC for like 2 days because he said if you were late they were gonna kick you out. I'm like, all right, it's a 7 o'clock class.
Hard.
I'm like,
yeah,
all right, I'll just leave.
I'm done, sir. Thanks, sir.
And the one thing I learned, I think it was like the first day, they said that kids are basically born
who they are.
Yeah, who they are. So with like the Haitian culture, we have a thing where it's like, oh, you had bad home training.
Nah, nigga.
I'm like, if you see me and my sister, we had the same home training.
Yeah.
We're completely different. Like, my sister don't curse. She's like a fucking 29-year-old virgin.
Yeah.
And shit like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, we had the same home training, but I was born to be who I was.
The hoodlum.
And nobody was going to change that.
Right.
So with the delivery thing.
The delivery means a lot.
Even like, I got a lot of homeboys where it's like, I always tell people I have like 4 different social circles that could never be in a room together because they would annoy the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
Because I have guys where we talk about certain things. I have guys where
you just know, that they're not gonna agree.
They would never be able to
mesh. Yeah.
They would get on each other's nerves. And a lot of like even females, like a lot of my homeboys, where they like hood as fuck and we start talking, but I'm not beating nothing into you.
Yeah.
I'm
just
like,
talking.
Hey, look at this side.
Yeah.
And then they start talking about certain things. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know you thought like that.
Yeah.
That's always a nice surprise.
Yeah. They just word certain things different.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's the same concept of everybody is trying to get better.
Right.
And I'm a numbers person, so like with the whole situation with the robbing thing, what I like to tell people, like, listen, let's just do the math. You're gonna go rob somebody.
You'd probably be able to give them a good
for
$2,000,
right?
Oh, I said one, so you gave them better
with a gun.
Oh, that's an extra
that's
couple.
15
yeah,
years.
that's extra time.
Holding it is 10.
Yeah,
it's like 25, ain't it?
Yeah, that's like 15 years. So it's like, let's add up how much you would have made in McDonald's for the 15 years that you're gonna stay in jail.
Beautiful.
50 cents at max what they getting paid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's what I'm saying. So like I feel like when it comes to like I totally give all island parents like all hail, right? Because you're coming to a situation that's better than your own. Regardless of how it is, regardless if it's no shoes or it's free education. It's something that is better in America that you think is better than America. And yeah, essentially it is. So your perspective is like, how dare you waste this? But like she said, if I don't know I'm wasting it, how do I know? Exactly. I don't know the value of this, right? And so it's been abused for so long. My mom has been on assistance for so long. I've never seen anybody work hard in my family. I've seen people get by because that's all we're doing. We live in paycheck. We're getting by,
and that may be fine for them.
But that's what I'm saying, because they don't know anything else.
Right, exactly.
So the moment that you evoke perspective, the moment that they come in contact with somebody with money, and honestly, it may take a Jay-Z, it may take a DaBaby, it may take a J. Cole, it may take somebody like that they admire to change their perspective because they want what they have. And so, and it's not in I want to take it from them way, it's a how can I be like them? How can I get like that? How can I have what they have? And so I honestly do feel like the child rearing that comes for islanders is much richer than the poverty-stricken black, because it's another thing that the guy mentioned who was directing the whole revolt. There are different types of black people.
Yeah.
And we keep getting classified in this one poverty-stricken nigga. We got different pockets of black people.
We got the one that's trying to rob people, and then we got you.
Yeah,
you're a different
and
type of black
we have
altogether.
the affluent. Yeah. We have the 1%ers who do not give back because they made it. They make sure that their generational wealth is straight because they know what it's like to not have it. I worked my way up to be a 1%er. I'm Ben Carson. I was the first surgeon to do a Siamese twin surgery. I separated Siamese twins successfully. Nigga, y'all ain't touching me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you have all different types of blacks, just like you have all different types of whites. But for some reason, black people always group all of them together. Even me. I go to the store right now. Somebody got a bonnet on. Damn, sis, take your bonnet off. You make us look bad. But think about it.
I don't think like that.
But a lot
what do you think?
But wait. But a lot of us do. But you know, white people are separatists automatically. If you don't fit in their class, you're not associated, right?
Yeah.
So
You're a
I don't
liberal,
care
you're a
what
conservative.
I don't care what this country ass bumpkin is doing at Walmart, because they need to put on some shoes. Like, literally, I am above you. I don't care what you look like. I don't care your hue. You are not my class.
Yeah.
But black people, we group each other all in one. And we all feel just amount the same as shame when we see somebody fighting in the club versus somebody opening, I don't know, a barbershop. Or
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing. I don't think we need to be grouping each other anymore because we are different. And I say that because what is it going to change? People think the way they do about black people regardless of what we think of ourselves. Right? So we're allowing them to have the narrative over how we feel about each other. I'm not going to be forced to feel uncomfortable in front of a nigga with dreads and goals. I know what type of nigga this is. First of all, he going to try to talk to me. That's one. I'm a girl.
That's what's going to happen.
I'm good.
Off real.
He's probably not going to rob me, just to be real. Like, I don't feel a sense of unsafety when I'm around a nigga with dreads and goals because I know he probably going to try to talk to me. I'm going to be nice AF. I don't want to be cussed out today because I know he will. Yeah. So, like, when you take control of your own narrative of your people, then you start to feel differently about these people. Then you start to treat them differently. I'm not going to treat you like you ignorant. I'm going to treat you like you're my friend. I'm going to actually say hi to you. I'm going to laugh with you as if I would laugh with one of my friends because I don't know you from a can of paint. Like you said, you didn't even know your friends thought that way until you said something.
Yeah.
How many times are we underestimating ourselves because of the narrative somebody told us about ourselves? Like, it's too many of us that are too different for us to just be grouped.
Group us all in one.
Like, we can't group us all in one, bro. Like, it's
solid.
It's too many facets of life, of black life, of affluent black life. Like, black Norths are very different from us.
Yeah, definitely.
They are very rooted in black history. I know somebody from Virginia right now. She knows so much shit about black history. It blows my mind. But the Smithsonian Museum is in Washington, D.C., and she lives 30 miles away from it. Since it was open, her parents took her. Yeah. The Martin Luther King Monument, the Lincoln Monument, they're accessible to different historical facts and historical monuments than we are. That's mind blowing, right? If you took me to the Martin Luther King statue when I was 10, imagine what I would feel about myself. And then think about the person that took you. They laid out a story for you. They told you what it meant to have a statue of a black man in Washington. They probably went real deep. And now I know, wow, I'm more than just blah, blah, blah. Every person I know from at least a place where it has like historical background, like Atlanta and Virginia and Washington, they're so much stronger when it comes to black things and black views and how they feel about themselves. So
I feel like I never even considered that, the whole idea of, right, because it's like racist white people, and then there's just like snobby white people, and then there's just like wannabe black white people, and then there's just like redneck white people, and then whatever, and then with blacks, you're right, it's just like a kind.
You just group them.
And honestly, but I would group us either where it's just like the bougie ones that want to be white or whatever. Like, I fall in that category. I was called an Oreo like all through middle school.
Yeah, and I talked.
I hate that too. I'm one of them allegedly. And right, you got those, and then you got just ghetto ass blacks, and like that's kind of just it. And they put the 1%ers, the Ben Carsons, they'd be in the bougie whatever side. I was told all the time then, like, oh, I thought you were so stuck up, so I got to know you. I was the nicest kid in the world, but it was just like, oh, she thinks she white, or she want to be white, or she thinks she for dumb shit. And this is in middle school, so we're 10, 11, 12, and this is what we just decided back then, right? So I get what you're saying, where it's like, these things have to start at a younger age to kind of get them open to it. Carlem's daughters aren't going to be the clueless, random ass black girls that we see. Oh, explain. You see a girl in her bonnet at the gas station and not get aggravated?
I got to a point where I feel like black people, we're very judgmental to each other. Mm-hmm. And I got to the point where I feel like I should. The fact that I didn't grow up how you grew up, I'm more open and understanding to your way of life, because for us, we might look at it like, oh, that's ratchet for you to be out there. It doesn't look right to me, but if you grew up from a little one and your mom always wore the ratchet, the bonnet everywhere she goes, then it's not gonna be an issue for you. Yeah. So why should I judge you?
Very true.
You get what I'm saying? It all comes
perception.
Back down to it's all even with my daughters, like me and a lot of my friends, we have a big disagreement versus private school and
public
school. Private. And I after a little while, the math doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
To put them in private?
I'm a numbers person. It doesn't make sense, but I gave in. I'm like, yo, listen, I feel like the better of an education that you get from the younger you are, the better off you're going to be.
Yep.
And I sent them there, and from the time I did, I started to see
the change and the difference.
I started to see the change. Yeah.
I went to private schools. Mike went to private schools. Like we all went to private schools growing up, and I do feel like it set the tone, because again, this is one of the reasons why I was so disliked when I went to Lakes, because I'm hearing terrible fucking grammar, and I'm just like, is this how the fuck? And I cuss a lot now, but back then I was the same. So it's like this, it does set the tone, and then unfortunately for me, I feel like it's a game, right? And this is when you have to play the game. Sending your kids to school with the affluent, whatever the fucks, may it be whites, may it be Spanish or Latin, whatever. Sending them to school to be around this type of things. These are one of those, it's not what you know, it's who you know type of situations. You got to think about it. Your kid gets invited to Rebecca's house, right? Yes, them type of shits. Take your ass to the bar mitzvah, and now your kid isn't good with that. And this is in no way to discredit what your kid could have done on their own, but at the same time, they do get better situations. Like, think about, like, I want to send Mia to what's that school that's on Nob Hill and whatever. It looks like it's straight out of like 1970.
American Heritage.
Yes. Do you know how much American Heritage is for kindergarten? That shit was $22,000.
Yeah.
You want me to spend $22,000 to send her to kindergarten?
Yes.
They don't even get letter grades yet. And then you know what? They had financial aid. They have financial aid. And it's like, if you, and literally the explanation of it says, if you feel like you can't afford American Heritage, then you'll probably get financial aid. It literally says that on their application site. Just apply for it, and you'll probably get it. And I was like, damn, you know. And I was in school, so I was getting my master's still at the time, and I was like, how much more is this going to add on me? And I was like, you know what, let's trickle it down. But it does help them.
But if you have the opportunity to give them a better situation,
and if you can afford it, because that's the biggest issue with that shit.
But you get what you pay for.
And the thing I learned recently too is that a lot of people just don't, like how you said with the whole financial aid, a lot of people don't know it, because like one of my biggest issues was I wanted, like, I've always been big on education, but at the same time I didn't want my kids to be the only black people, the only black ones in the school, because you know we lived in Springs, so we were in public schools and there wasn't really that much black people in class, and they had a little issue with that. So luckily the school that I sent them with too, it's, I would say, majority black. Okay. It's a good school. But the first day I went to orientation, I was just looking at the parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, ain't no way in hell y'all motherfuckers gonna afford this shit. And then, like, that's why, like, oh, they're giving out grants.
Yeah, they give out grants.
But for me, like in Haiti, I went to like a real prestigious school. I saw the difference. A lot of stuff I was doing, like, I was skipping grades.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then when I came up here,
they put you down.
In the beginning, I went to Bayview, which was across the street from the Galleria Mall.
Oh, it's
so
fancy.
It was like very affluent.
Yeah, it's nice
and
over
the
there.
Shit that we were doing in elementary school, the math that we were doing, I was always good at math, but it's like the math I was doing in 5th grade, I didn't see that shit till
8th grade.
Oh,
9th grade?
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is, when I was in private school, we were always 2 grades ahead. So when I got to 8th grade, my first year in public school was 8th grade. I had all A's and a B+ in Spanish too. Like, my thing is, I'm used to rigorous homework every night. Public school does not get homework. So when I got to 8th grade, I came home. I'm like, all right, Mom, ready to go outside? She was like, where's your homework? I didn't have any tonight. Do you know how many times I said that in 8th grade? I did not get as much work as I did when I was in private school. And mind you, the stuff that I was learning, I already learned it. It's just being taught a different way. So my thing is, if you have the opportunity, and I went to an all-black private school.
Mine had a lot of Caucasians.
Yeah, mine was all
black.
I was
the only black girl
there. Mount Bethel Christian Academy. It's on Sunrise. It's in the hood. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I had great teachers. I learned with people who look like me. So I lucked up.
Yeah.
My teachers were black. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had a good childhood situation. I was homeschooled in 6th grade. Hated it. I'm a social butterfly. Me and my brother in one room.
I can't see that working well.
Me and my brother.
I would do great with homeschool. I don't like people.
Like I was aggravated most of the time because I'm waiting on recess and recess never comes. Aww. And it's like
that wouldn't work for me.
And think about it. I missed all my friends from first. I went to the same private school from 1st grade, and in 6th grade they took me out. Yeah. So it's like I'm used to all this social activity, getting on buses and whatever, to nothing. I'm just staring at y'all niggas for 8 hours. Like, that's aggravating. Like, I was aggravated most of the time, but it was a different educational experience. And I feel like if you have the opportunity to send your kid, if you have the money to send your kid to a better schooling, you can go to black parks on the weekend. Like, everybody just feels like, oh my God, if they don't learn around black people, they'll never get an experience of black. Nigga, put them in a camp.
True.
Put them in a summer camp that is all black. Put them in Urban League. Urban League strives on minorities. You get all the
black you need out of Urban League.
That's what I'm saying.
For
like
sure.
you will literally get, but you can't be small-minded and be like, oh, my kid's only going to be around white people all the time. You got to think outside the box. Camp is there, right? Like, little things, like your friends have black children.
Yeah.
Go on play dates. Like, it doesn't have to be such a disparity when it comes to my kid is so exposed, she's not going to know how to adapt. You adapt her. You adapt him.
And you'll be there to monitor that, right? Because what throws me with Mia is, so my mom was born in Jamaica. She got adopted by like a cousin in Michigan, had me in Michigan, and then sent me to Jamaica. And I lived in Jamaica. Like, I went to 1st grade in Michigan, went to 2nd grade in Jamaica, 3rd and 4th grade in Michigan. No, 3rd grade in Michigan, and then 4th, 5th, and 6th grade in Jamaica. It was such a culture shock, but I feel like I want to throw Mia in Jamaica so bad. Like, Mom, are you moving back anytime soon? So I can let her go see how fortunate you are. Because, it's like, you strive so hard to not make your kids go through what you went through. Like, I used to have to go to school with my mom when she was getting her bachelor's. It was me and her in Detroit. I used to have to go to class with her. Some teachers would let me sit in the back of the class. Some teachers like, she can't stay in here. So I'd be outside the classroom just looking in the door every 5 minutes. Like, Mia didn't experience any of that. Lucky for her, her dad was around. So when I'm at school, okay, hey, I can get Mia tonight and just whatever. So all these experiences that have made me such a way more humble, way more appreciative, thankful person. My kid has none of this. My kid got me, mommy, who bought her house at 25. I had Mia at 22. My mom didn't buy her first house in America till I was fucking 17 or some shit like that. Like, these are the experiences that my kid will never get to have. And I'm worried about Jit. And then because I just feel like she's too privileged at this point. Right? And so it's like every chance we get to go to Jamaica, she handles it so well. Like, I was like, okay, Leah, this is the test. We'll go to Jamaica. My mama got actually got pretty good cable, but my mama had, unfortunately, just got hot water, Carlem, that the year before. The whole time I was in Jamaica, never had hot water. So sis had to either take the coldest situation ever or boil water every fucking day, twice a day in Jamaica before. So Mia didn't experience any of that, but she went down there and Jit was straight. She talking to goats. She playing with chickens. She feeding pigs and cows and shit. I'm like, oh, Mia does so well. She's trying to climb a tree. I was so proud. I was like, oh, she's not that bougie. Like, Mia got a little bit of humbleness in her. But sending her to the school she's at now, it's predominantly Latin. Damn near all the teachers, the whole school. What you call the school thing? The principals, them. Speak Spanish all day, and I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about this. It's a great school. It's an A+ school, right? She takes a Spanish class. Mia been taking Spanish since 1st grade.
That's a plus.
So that's a plus. Mia takes Spanish, and she has a chess class. Like, Mia know how to play more chess than me. I know nothing about chess. I've been trying to learn for 10 years. I ain't never tried. Played chess. Exactly. I feel like I got to learn how to play chess. Mia at least taken chess for the last 2 years. So she was like, Well, I don't think you can use that one. I was like, Mommy doesn't know. So shout out to you. So this is the privilege of having her in a nicer or a better school, whatever. But then you think about when y'all talked about what y'all learned in privates or whatever. When I was in Jamaica going to school, I came up here, and the things that we were learning in 7th grade, I had learned this in like 4th. Like long division and shit like that. And this is the highlight of my life, y'all, my school year, because I was whooping ass at math. Like, I was like, bitch. Yeah. But I did it the long way, quote unquote, right? And my teacher, thankfully, I had a teacher that wasn't a dick about it, because some are. And they're like, well, you can't do it that way, do it this way. But my nigga, I got the same answer. Yeah, I got the answer. But that was me throughout high school. Yeah, right. So I'm like, to this day, I can't do it. I can't do the way they talk about. Right. I can only do the long way. And I felt so smart, and then that died down around, like, I'd say about 9th grade. Then I was back to normal.
Dead. So it was hard. And then shout out to all the parents who are trying to like relearn math for their kids, and guys, you're struggling.
They do the stupidest things now.
A tutor.
Micah tutor.
I'm a tutor.
Micah tutor.
This new edition.
So weird.
So my thing is, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. And so what they're trying to do to our kids now that we have like the Common Core, so like it's the same test everywhere. It's no longer differentiated by state. It's like the same test. So Florida Common Core.
So FCAT and all that stuff is gone.
FCAT is done.
It's been done, right?
It's been done since 2013. Okay. FCAT been gone.
Nope. I used to cheat on FCAT.
Actually, I did very well on FCAT.
But I'm saying like the whole exposure to certain things, like kids from the hood don't know what a canoe is. Because they don't fucking canoe. You know what I'm saying? Like the disparity that happens in these tests and how they ask these questions. But even in general, like the way that they teach math, they have complicated it. Like I'm not even going to front. Like I remember math being very simple.
Why do you think they do it the way they do it
now?
They
think they're helping. And they give more demonstrations. They give more graphics. They give more.
It slows them down to me.
It's more complicated to me. Yeah. So I feel like confusion is happening when you're trying to make something easier.
But then let me ask you this then. As parents, we agree. It's like, why the fuck wouldn't they just do it this way? Like, it's so simple, right? But they make it so complicated. They had to have gone through multiple, like, for them to decide, we're going to switch this for every fucking state and make it this way. Something had to have told them this is better for the kids. What is it? Like, logical thinking?
There's no point. But there's no point to logically think or technologically think about some shit that's ABC.
Yeah, math is right ABC, or wrong.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's right or it's wrong.
These are the steps that lead up to this step. You can't skip A and go to D. You got to go A, B, C, D.
Right.
That's how math is. English, there are loopholes.
Yeah, English.
So it's different. So like we said the other day, like there are English learners that are like the shit and they suck at math, and there are math learners that suck at writing. Like either or suck at reading, but at the same time, comprehension is on both ends. Because I have word problems. So now they're making the word problems asshole-ish, just to be real.
7 apples.
Like, honestly, like, I read some of these word problems, I'm like, bro, like, this makes no sense. And I circle the question, and I say, clarify. Because
I do that on Mia's homework, too.
And only because these are fucking workbooks that they have printed years before the time, right? They're not going in these workbooks. They're giving you an assignment based off of what they taught that day. Do you think they're going over those lessons? I don't. And no shade to the teachers out there. I fuck with y'all. Y'all do hella planning, lesson planning, blah, blah, blah. But read these questions. Some of them have comma splices. Some of them are grammatically incorrect. Like, we read a sentence 12 times today and it still didn't make sense. And I am really good at understanding what things mean. And I'm like, wait. They didn't give you the clue to this, but they omit certain things so that you can critically think, or that you can say no answer because all of these are wrong. Mm-hmm. They don't even have none of above are right. They have A, B, C, D, all answers, and none of the above doesn't even exist. And it is none of the above because you omitted some shit on purpose. There's no way this kid can solve this shit because they don't have the second piece. So it's like all these worksheets that I've been seeing from 3rd grade to 7th grade have been pissing me off. And now it
extends to 2nd grade.
It's honestly making me believe that nobody is really giving a fuck about how this shit is being taught. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like our education system is kind of fucked. So you kind of have to rely on parents who have older knowledge of the way math should be taught.
But the reason why that doesn't help is because when Mia gets a worksheet, she has to do it this way.
I know.
So she's in second grade, y'all, and I'm having to Google. All right, how do they want me to explain it? And then once I get it, it's like, all right, baby, they want you to do it this way, this way, this. Mia doesn't know the way I learned it in Jamaica.
Yeah,
I went to second grade. I was in Jamaica. She don't know the way I learned it a bazillion years ago. So again, she's not gonna miss what she's never had. But then I almost feel like, okay, if she doesn't get it, and me as a 29-year-old, I don't fucking get it either. I'm like, mommy has to find a way to get it so I can make sure you get it.
Yeah.
So we can get. But
you need more time than a night. You need more time than a night worth of homework.
I seen how they did like the most basic multiplication.
You want to throw her whole fucking paper in the garbage?
Are they adding images?
My whole life in America, I've had to. When it came to math, I've fought every math teacher I've had because it's always the same thing. Well, you didn't do it this way. I'm like, did I get the answer right though?
Right.
Yeah. Well, you didn't do it this way. I don't care because I'm not understanding how you're doing it. It doesn't make no sense to me because you fill up a whole board
for what
to get the
Did
answer
they understand the way you did it?
Of course not.
Then that's the
mine
fucking
was
problem.
Really simple because like in Haiti it's a lot of memorization.
I'm pretty sure your shit is the same way I'm taught in Jamaica.
Like I was in first grade and we used to get our ass whooped. So it's like
timetables.
In first grade, you have to know everything by
memory.
2 1
every
2
day,
2 2 4 2 3 6 2 4.
We
had yes, we had to know our timetables.
But believe it or
like
not,
crazy.
Americans have to know that too. Like that's.
Which I wasn't getting beat.
I don't being here. I never went over my timetables here.
But in my private school, like I said, I was at a Christian private school. Mm-hmm. They had privilege to whoop our ass.
Yeah, they could spank.
For real?
Yes, and in Detroit, I was at a Christian. I was in a Catholic school.
Hey, but you know what the thing is?
They had the paddle thing.
Let me tell you, this is what I used to get beat with. Like something similar to this. You take 3 of these, and you twist it, and they give you a stick like this. And this is like first, because I came here, I left Haiti in second grade, so this is like kindergarten, first grade. Take 3 of these. Well, they were like twigs. Well, they were rubber. And then it gives you one piece this long, and it's just like you hold it, it sticks up, and that's what we're getting beat with.
Yeah, I was getting beat with a.
I wanted to shoot my teacher.
I was getting beat with
to this day. I'd probably shoot him.
But I was getting beat with a double-sided ruler that was taped together.
Why? Yes, at the religious ones. I was at a Catholic school in Detroit, and we went to mass every Wednesday, and ate the little bread thing, the little circle thing. But they did that there, and they had the paddle, and I never got the paddle.
Bitch, I did.
But I was like,
talk too much. I was like Mia.
Right. And I talk too much, but I knew how to stop. Mia is definitely your child.
Yeah, they had to pull me to the side. I was like, we don't understand what's gonna get through to Miss Nixon.
That's what's happening with Mia on the.
Cause it's certain things you just gotta get out.
That's what she said. You know the fuck she said to me? Damn, I can't. She was on some like, but mommy, I had to tell her what color it was. I was like, it doesn't fucking matter. Be quiet.
Press on your tongue, like
baby, be quiet. And that kills me. It's like,
and like, okay, so I feel like Mia is a leader to a certain extent, and I feel like I was a leader to a certain extent. And when people are looking at you to like give them something, like it's almost like a power trip. Like I have to give it to you.
Mia,
I have to give it to you. Listen, and then like you're loud as fuck. I was naturally loud, so it's like I don't know how to whisper. I'm like it's 3, and so like it's like Micah Beth. I'm like God damn it.
That happened with Mia in a test one time. She's sitting there, so somebody's like, "What is?" She was like, "It's 4." So the teacher was like, "No helping Mia." She was like, "She keeps asking me," and so she was like, "Okay, this is first grade." And then somebody said something else, and Mia was like, "Here go Mia. You can't talk to me." So she said it loud. And then the kid asked again, and she's like, "It's 5." And then the teacher was like, "Both of you go clip down." So Mia get a bad color. And she's like, "Mommy, I'm sorry." And I had to tell Mia, and I hate to be this parent, but I was like, if I could say, Mia, fuck them kids, I would.
Right.
You're going to get in trouble. And what you need to think about is, more than you want to help them, you don't want to get in trouble when you get home. Because there's no iPad, there's no TV, there's no playing with your dolls. She'll play with her Barbie dolls all day. You can't talk to none of them hoes when you get home. So, you keep acting up, get a color today, and it's a problem. And then we got to call your daddy, and he got to sit here and plead his case about why she shouldn't get pow-pow today, and blah, 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 blah. Right. And he's Carlem. He's fun dad. And I don't know how much discipline you instill in your situation, but there's none coming from Manny.
I don't.
None. And that doesn't help. Well, honestly, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't have to help.
As long as it happens.
Yeah, because Manny uses me. I'm going to call mommy. No. Don't call mommy. All right, daddy, I'm sorry. Like, it was a point where Mia didn't even listen to this nigga. You know what, Manny?
That's cool.
I don't know why you don't want to be the parent that she takes serious, but she don't play with me.
You just be...
You killing me, like...
Every report card, too talkative.
All right, well, whatever.
I'm expressive.
But there's something you said earlier though, and I hear that I hear that a lot of times from especially black people, which I don't necessarily agree with. You said what you were talking about with Mia, like how her upbringing compared to yours, where you feel like she's too privileged. Or I don't agree with that. I feel like that's how it should be.
Every generation should be better than the one
like
before.
For me, I always tell people where I'm cheap. I'm cheap because of the upbringing that I had, where I had good times and I had some very bad times.
Understood.
And I remember the bad times more than
that's
the
what
good
changed
times.
you. That's where you grow.
Because like when I first came up here, my parents had basically life-threatening surgeries back to back within a year.
Yeah,
where both of them weren't
scary.
working, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we lived in the hood where it's supposed to be a 2-week thing turned into a 5-year thing. So from those experiences, when I grew up and how they maneuvered around it, because my parents are frugal as fuck, so it's like they were big savers.
Right.
So for me, when I grew up, I always have that in the back of my mind, like, yo, somebody could get sick. And shit's not all peachy no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit hit the fan after that.
I'm on some, I don't never really live off more than 50% of my income.
This is a great mentality.
A lot of people don't know how to do that.
They've never even heard that.
So it's like, there's a lot of things I could do that I'll never do. It's like, it looks nice. I can afford this, but I'm not gonna do it.
So
it's like the biggest joy to me is the life that I give my kids versus at the age that they're at. I'm like, I look at how they living versus how I'm living, how I was living at their age.
Right.
Where it's like, yo, I went through the stage where I had one pair of shoes for the whole year.
Right.
You know what I mean? My daughter got a fucking cell phone for graduating pre-K.
Shout out to sis.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just felt like
okay, so
I could do
I have parental.
So it's like I don't feel bad for that. I'm like, they should.
But okay, what if you had a boy? What if
I wanted to talk to her.
What if you had a son?
If I had a son?
Yes.
All right.
Because I feel like you be tough for
in a way.
We talking about a dad with daughters, and y'all is like stupid with them. Like y'all just become putty. If you had a little boy,
I think I made a post about that the other day. With daughters, as much as we want to, I don't know about other men, other people.
Oh, y'all trash.
But for me, I work for my kids. I tell people that. I don't. At this point in my life, I don't really have much that I want to do. I've enjoyed life. You know
you be living, friend.
I live. So
As
everything I do is for my kids. So it's where it's a point where it's like, I kind of want to teach them responsibility and all this extra shit, but like really I'm setting them up. That's what I work for. I set them up. But with sons is different because as a man, you could drop me anywhere in the world.
You'll survive.
The way my mind is, I'm
going
to get out of it.
You're going to make it, right?
Where with females, when you thinking about your daughters, like, damn, they drop her in Africa. Because you drop me in Africa, I'm not worried about getting raped.
Yeah.
That's the last thing in my mind. I'm more worried about a wild animal than anything else.
As you should, because they're there.
But when you tell a man you're going to drop her, like, I travel, right? I've always said it, like, when my kids graduate high school, you don't have to rush to college. You want to take a year off?
Like a gap year.
Take a year off and travel.
It's called the gap year. It's very cool.
But I be thinking about I want to go with you because I don't trust you in certain my sister travels and a lot of places like she wants to go. I'm like, yo, we can't go. Like I will sit. Like she was trying to last year. She was trying to go to it was some African country, but there was a lot of turmoil there.
Right.
She was like, they really need help. I need to go help them. And
Not today.
There, I called my mom every single day, and I was sending my mom articles. I'm like, listen, they're killing Americans.
You're a hater, dog.
No, because it's like, I'm like, yo, they're killing Americans there. Don't let her go. Don't let her go. to where my mom literally convinced her not to go. Where if it would have been my brother, I wouldn't care. Because there was a time I wanted to go to war zone. Like, I used to be really into photography, and I wanted to go to war zones just to photograph certain things, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like as a father, there is a big double standard as what you do for your daughters and what you do for your sons. Mm-hmm. If I had sons, I still would
set them up.
You wouldn't coddle them.
I'd set them up.
You wouldn't coddle them though.
I wouldn't feel ashamed. Like, and the funny thing is, the majority of my friends that their parents are well off, they're humble.
Okay.
It's the way that they brought them.
They're not.
That's the point of it too.
Yeah, they're not. It's like they're privileged, but it's just like they're humble. So I don't feel like if I have a certain means to give you a better, like, that's the goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If our parents didn't do it for us, they didn't have it. But if they did, like, your parents wouldn't be millionaires, and you know what I mean. You
I'd be like in swallow
that you went through.
So
I never feel bad.
What it is like my mom and dad broke up a long time ago. I talked about it in the episode. Like, I ain't seen him physically since I was like 3. So everything my mom has done, it's been me and my mom alone. And my mom's a hardworking woman. I've always seen that. I explain her whole school situation. My mom is finishing her PhD right now. She is stressed out, by the way, since I gotta tell you. Oh, because she's like at the last leg where she got to like her dissertation part, and they whooping her ass. But anyway, this is my mom, right? Even in just being in a single parent household, me and my mom in Detroit, I would say I was privileged. There's nothing I wanted that my mom didn't get for me. I never, like, I wanted my acrylic nails and I was like 7. So does Mia. I wasn't allowed to give them until I was 16, so Mia can't either. There's little small milestones that I feel like a kid has to get to in order to just develop a little bit of structure, a little bit of whatever. Everything ain't for every age. You got to wait till you get there. Humble yourself, calm down. But with Mia, like I said, I attribute me having to get thrown, and I say thrown into Jamaica life, because it's like, sis, we had one channel at the time. It was CBM TV, and JTV was only if I can get the antenna to work right.
You talking about Jamaica? That was my life in America. I had 33, 39, 7, and 10. I didn't have cable.
I got here. I was doing well. I was doing it big. But that's what I'm saying. Like, to live in situations like that, I can appreciate more things. We had no AC, so that's why I love fans. It's 20 degrees. It can be 20 degrees outside. There's a level of humbleness there. I think that's fueled my ambition. I feel like that's fueled me deciding. Mia got a company I'm about to start. I'll tell you about it later. Mia about to start a whole company. Off the strength of me saying, you know what? Like you said, you talk about it, just do it.
Yeah.
I got the money for it. Let's fund it. All her shit just came today. There's a level of ambition and drive there. If my mom did not get adopted to Michigan by a cousin, my life would be completely different. I would have been born in Jamaica, and I would have been like all my cousins fighting to get here. So when I see people trying to get married for a visa, like you said, I don't judge their situation. I've heard multiple people say, yo, that's fucked up. I'd never do that just to get a visa. But you saying that when you was born here. You don't know what the fuck it's like to be born there and want to get to America so fucking bad because it's the land of the free and blah, blah, blah. I can't say, I would like to think I'm going to marry for love. But, bitch, if I'm down there and I'm struggling like all my cousins swear that, you know, they are, because they're still even well off than most other people in Jamaica because they got us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talked in the last episode, category, I think it was a 4 by the time it got to us, but it started off as a 5, and it hit us as a 5 and quick turned to a 4. Everybody's house around us was fucked up completely, but because my mom had enough money, she built her house a little more sturdy, we were able to survive. Like, nothing, the most we had was flooding in the house, because upstairs wasn't done, but everyone else's house was fucked up, like shot to shit. And I don't remember any story of people dying, but things were terrible. So even then, we still have it so much better than they had it there. And these type of experiences are what make me like, I feel like that's what made me the person I am today. I hated being there, but I tell my mom all the time, thank you for sending me there because it made me this way. Mia has none of that. Mia got a daddy who give her whatever the fuck she wants whenever she wants it. She has a mom that provides relentlessly. Mia, you know, Mia's always straight every birthday. We couldn't figure out what to buy her for her birthday this year because Jit got every fucking thing she wants.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't figure. I asked me, Biddy, what do you want? Well,
it took her a while to say it.
She couldn't fucking figure it out. Yeah. We had to just buy her trivial shit. I eventually figured it out, but
I don't feel bad for stuff like that. I'm like, listen, that's what I work for. That's what we, as a parent, you
But what kind of person are you making? That's my question. Okay, that's how I feel.
I don't like the word humble.
Wait,
I don't use that word.
Can I chime?
Go ahead.
I didn't chime in.
Go ahead.
So, I'm American AF. 2-parent household, which most people don't have.
Me too.
I didn't have.
Until I was 18, they got a divorce, and I was like, oh, turmoil.
She was so traumatized.
I'm a statistic.
She was hurt, y'all.
Nobody understood me because everybody didn't grow up like that. They didn't. They didn't get why I was so
hurt.
I wouldn't be hurt at 18 though. Like, hey, I wouldn't.
That's
care.
what Erica was saying. She's like, Michael, you old as fuck. But I get
and
it.
My thing is, you never had what I had.
Yeah, I get it.
You don't know what I felt, right? So it's like, regardless of
why be a dick about it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like I had this present, strong front of 2 individuals working through. My parents arguing in front of us all the time. It blows my mind when people say my parents never argued in front of us. I'd be like, "Bird, like, is that real?" Like,
that's what Manny says that about his
parents. They just celebrated their 31st anniversary.
You've never seen them argue.
Never had a disagreement.
So my thing is,
somebody ain't being real. What you think?
Not even an argument, the disagreement.
So my thing is, I think it's healthy that people don't agree, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because that's
too.
natural.
Me too.
Right? And so I'm very appreciative that I heard my mother and my father argue upstairs. Well, honey, I don't think they said honey. Well, baby, they said baby. Like, so it's not like Michael Deborah. Like, it was not like very like militant.
A nigga bitch.
It was right. It was dead ass honey. Well, baby, if you blah blah blah. So like, I went into my older brother's room and I was just like, I want them to just stop. Mind you, I'm like 6, 7. Mm-hmm. All I hear is yelling. I don't know what the fuck going on. So one time, my brother went upstairs and was like, "You guys are so loud," and so my parents was like, damn, we are kind of loud, huh?
We gotta chill.
So they came downstairs. They walked into my brother's room where I was because I fucking fled my room to go to his room because it was too loud. And they literally had a conversation. Me and mommy we don't agree on everything.
Yeah.
She feels this way and I feel this way. And all we're trying to do is come to like a common ground. We're so sorry that we're loud and it's so late. That's what my parents said to me when they got loud and unruly. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, that's what I grew up with for the majority of my life. So, I was privileged in a sense. Like, I didn't have I had a job.
Yeah.
I had a job when I was 16. Me and Leah worked at Aeropostale in Coral Square Mall.
That's my first job.
First job ever. Right? So, after that, and I wanted a job. They didn't tell me to get one. I wanted one. Because I wanted to buy my own shit.
I couldn't get one.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. I was mad. They wouldn't let me have one.
So, my mom was against me having a job in high school, but my thing was I want to buy my own clothes.
Yeah.
I want to buy my own shit. Like, I don't want to ask for a tank top. I want to buy one, right? So she was like, all right, you get a job and buy your own things, whatever. You can save your own money, whatever. So we got a job at Aeropostale, cool. Next job was Regal. So I had jobs in high school.
I forgot that.
But I was hella busy. Busy. Like, we was involved
multiple.
I was on a dance team. Like, we was on like
the
yearbook committee.
Student government.
We were very busy. I was a very busy
other dance team.
And then I was very involved in the church. Like every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday I was in church. Choir rehearsal, prayer meeting, Bible study, whatever. I was there. So I was a very busy kid. But at the same time, wanting for nothing type thing, like my parents still budgeted like a motherfucker. It was frugal, right? So there was times where mommy was like, all right, this week you can't get a pair of pants and a shirt. You got to choose. And so there was one time my brother was like, well, why can't we get both? I just don't understand because my friend gets both. And she turns around. We on the way to the Boys and Girls Club, which is down the street from my house. She turns around and she was like, nigga, because I said so. I never heard my mother say nigga ever. I'm like, Deborah. Like, literally, she just jumped outside of herself because
y'all done pissed this off.
She thought about where she came from. And I know that's why she snapped like that.
Yeah.
She snapped like that because this whole time, me and John have been able to get everything that we wanted. And the moment she says we can't get what we want, we get spoiled. And we say, why not? And she's like, you got the audacity to tell me why the fuck not? And I provided all of this for you. Like, so I get where Leah's coming from when it comes to Mia. Ship her to Jamaica because you don't fucking understand.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm going to throw her down there. But it still won't be the situation I had.
It still won't be.
Because it's fucking hot water. You don't know how tight I was. We went to Jamaica for our birthday. We stayed at my mama's house for a little bit. And the 2 weeks before we got there, my mom was like, oh, girl, I got hot water running. I was like, why is this? let these hoes see what it's like. But it didn't matter. We had hot water already. So we had a great time. Michael had white rum for the first time. We had a blast. Michael learned how to play dominoes. It was a great time.
But I understand.
It wouldn't even be that way.
But I understand. So my thing is, I'm a privileged kid. Right? Yeah. And you guys work for everything that you got. And you got to slum it out, in a sense. You got to slum it out in a different country. I didn't. So the moment I became an entrepreneur, but before that, I had the mindset of, okay, things just come to me because I'm good at everything and I'm just going to figure it out. Yeah. That shit didn't work like that.
Nah, I don't.
So my thing is, I had a roommate and she hates her. I had a roommate my freshman year. She was the realest person I ever met in my life. And honestly,
that bothers me so much. I feel like I'm the realest person she's ever met in her life. So how the fuck is this bitch the realest? I'm annoyed, girl.
What she's gone through and how she's pushed herself.
Right now.
But I might be.
But for real, how she pushed herself forward, it was just like, I get why you're the way you are. You know what I'm saying? And so in order to have somebody like that as a roommate my freshman year, and I'm so privileged and I get everything and whatever, she just helped me see things in a different way. So my thing is, I graduated from college. Okay, cool. You choosing this life, so what you have to do things to keep it, to maintain this whatever entrepreneur or whatever. I'm used to structure. When you have to create your own structure, it's hard. Because you become your own governor. You become your alarm clock. You become your alarm clock. You become the person that says you got to get up or nobody's going to do it. Mm-hmm. So, like, one of my friends always just tell me, like, bro, like, you so talented in so many things. Why aren't you capitalizing on that? And then I got a mentor, my aunt. Yeah. Micah, what are you waiting on? You're complaining about whatever, and you can always make an opportunity out of this, but you're not choosing to do that. So my thing, I didn't know how to work hard. I got by because I was smart. Yeah. I got by because school was easy. I made good grades because school was easy to me. Yeah. You give me a book, I'll read it, I'll make a book report, whatever. Like, I will fill out an application in 0.5 seconds, and I could do an interview. Not know shit about the company. I'm getting into the company because I'm good at improvisation. Like, I'm just good at certain things. And when you give somebody the opportunity to just expound on all of those things when they're not used to it, I was caving. I was depressed for a good 3 months. Yeah. So I'm like, damn, I don't know how to gain the hustle mentality. Like, how do I become this hungry ass person?
It's hard.
Because I got my mom.
Hey, guess what? Your kids are going to have the same problem.
But think about it.
Because of you, Dad.
But wait, think about it.
And that's why I'm giving him that cushion. I know.
But Carlem, listen. My cushion was my mom. Everybody thought I was spoiled, right? But because my mom had it, I was spoiled. I'm not spoiled.
You're not.
My mother worked hard to make sure I was okay. I went in school, like, I had a car. Mm-hmm. I paid for a third of it. She made me work all summer to make $8,000, and I did. She paid the rest. That's my first car ever. So I don't get things handed to me.
That's good. $8,000 in the summer?
Yeah, like she didn't give me.
That's some gangster shit.
But honestly, y'all, to this day, she doesn't give me anything. Yeah. I have to pay my mom back everything. And everybody be talking about, oh, my mama give me this for my birthday. My mom gave me. I don't get shit. I have to pay everything back. And that's the relationship that we have.
I'll just start getting gifts again for holidays. You know what
I don't get gifts.
I know what I'm getting for Christmas already. I want a really, really big pot because I like soup. I like chicken foot soup. So my mama gonna buy me a really big pot, and she bought me a pressure cooker for Christmas because I want.
Yeah. So my gift. I don't get gifts. I get loans, and I pay back my loans. So like when you think of it on that scale, like she did something there to try to deter me away from the privilege because you pay back your debts.
Yeah.
And you don't honestly, that
in itself is privilege.
Yeah, it
but that's what I'm saying. But you still get a privilege, but you don't get a free ride.
But and then think about it this way: in Micah's situation, if Micah's already privileged, then so it's like it gone bad already. Like you get what I'm saying? Like she already this. But so let me find a way to bring her back to where the fuck I need her to be. Since you got to pay back everything. So now you get what I'm saying?
Like, oh my God, Erica and Paige is rubbed off on you. As long as we know the two of them, they've had multiple jobs at one time.
Yeah.
Ever since I knew Paige, past 12 years old, Paige has had 2 or 3 jobs. Erica has had 2 or 3 jobs. Tarsha was later on. Like
we crack on her all the time. We used to. She doesn't anymore.
They have multiple jobs, And so the moment that I started doing certain things to get all this, even now I do 7 things to get income.
I know.
And so my mom is like, wow, Paige did a number on you. Wow, Erica, blah, blah, blah. And like islanders, I cannot fault island people for getting what they're worth. You are good at something, so you do everything you're good for and you make a profit from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way of moving forward. That's the way of getting money. That's the way of creating wealth. So I was not advantaged at that at first. I was depressed as fuck because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to capitalize on my hustle mentality. Yeah. I just kept getting knocked back down. It was too much work. Like, why won't she just give me this? Why won't she just... Like, honestly, I was there. But I woke myself up and was like, you know what? And I'm tired of asking her for shit.
Okay, now I'll ask you this question then. I thought we had this conversation before, but I'll ask you now. Do you blame your parents in any type of way for because this is the argument I'm about to have to him. Do you blame them in any type of way for finding a way to make a way, regardless to do whatever, and you didn't understand that? Because I never had the depression phase. I always had a job, right? And my mom does provide. Like, I never had to have 2. But I've always had a job, just for the sake of having a job. Then I had to babysit Liana all day. Like, Liana's my firstborn, my little sister. Because
my daughter's name is Liana.
Cause she a real anyway, but yeah, like, do you blame your parents in any type of way for maybe not telling you, informing you, preparing you, prepping you, whatever, anything to any type of, and maybe don't use blame if it's too heavy, but you get what I'm saying. Do you put any type of damn sis, I wish you would have told me?
So
it's tough out here in the streets.
So no, because I feel like kind of like what Carlem was saying, like, if I'm preparing my generation after me to be better, then I'm going to give them better, right? So if I can provide that for them, whatever. But there's always lessons to be learned. So what I would say, I wouldn't say that I blame them. I honestly feel like I was too money conscious too early. Like, at 10 years old, I don't think I need to be hearing about what our budget is like in the house, because that's heavy on me. Now I have money anxiety when it comes to me and my nigga. I don't know how to ask for things.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
But that's the thing. So as opinionated as it is, right? I feel like money conversations are uncomfortable. But money conversations have to be had every day.
But they don't have to be uncomfortable, because you think about it.
I already have anxiety, babe. It's done. Like, now no, yes, okay, so look.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me paint a picture.
Are uncomfortable, but
let me paint a picture.
If we normalize it enough, it's not uncomfortable.
We normalize it in a negative way. So we talk about money negatively, like it's affecting us in a negative way. We don't talk about money positively in the home where we're budgeting. Budgeting is not a fun thing. Budgeting is where I miss out. Budgeting is where I can't do dance
It's not that
anymore.
way for me at all.
Well, it's different.
Yeah.
So I was in the clubs. And when we budgeted, I was out of clubs. So I got the positive and then I got the negative. Yeah. And it's just like, okay, we're budgeting. Don't ask for this. You know what I asked for my birthday? A card and cake.
Yeah.
Because we were budgeting. And as a 10-year-old, I personally don't think the weight of what things cost should be that heavy. I think money and finances should be discussed with 10-year-olds and 9-year-olds. I think they should know what finances do. I think they should know what keeps the house running. I definitely do. Financial literacy offered
maybe not even
early enough.
If you want to do it,
but I'm saying, but you can do it in a very dumb way. You know what I'm saying? They can dumb it down to a 10-year-old and be like, you know what, baby? What would you choose? Would you choose to pay your light bill, or would you choose to get your favorite doll? Like, literally, like I see instant like YouTube videos on how they teach financial literacy to 10-year-olds.
This is so hard,
and then it blows my mind.
Even process.
I agree and disagree.
But this,
I relate. But I
you don't relate because you Haitian and you grew up that type of way. Because this is why I can't relate.
But he was just saying it's 2 different ways.
So I can't relate because of that.
Thing, right? Because I've been on both sides of what she's saying. I've had very open parents. Like, my parents have had a open door policy as long as I have memory, right?
Right.
So it's like from probably 8 those same budget
stipulations, whatever.
Discussions.
Yeah,
I've had those to where my mom, like, she's always commend me on that. She was like, as a kid, I never asked her for nothing.
Yeah,
because I just knew. I'm like, y'all didn't have it, because my parents was very open. It's like, I know what I have, I know what I don't have.
Yeah,
so I never asked something. Right. But at the same time, it's like, even now, like, especially now, a lot of times I be thinking about like numbers. I remember one time my dad bought us. I still remember that shit's weird. He bought us. That's when scooters first came out. Little scooters. They came back out, right. And I know it was hard for him. And he paid $25. A total was of $50 for both of them, right? And I be thinking like, yo, how quick I spend $50 on my kids. Like that was on some Christmas shit. I got scooters, and I know it hurt it. I know it's hard on him, but he knew like we really wanted it, and he did it. And I'm like, damn, like I literally spend $50 on these motherfuckers every day, like on Monkey Joe's. Cause so it's like on one side I understand. I feel like I appreciated the fact that my parents were open to me about
finances,
the finances, and I was understanding to it. But at the same time, to my kids, if I'm broke, they don't know that shit.
Right.
Like their mom is the type where she's like, "Oh, I don't got it." Me, my kids have never heard of "I don't have it."
Right.
It don't matter how. And I've had situations where I've been really
tight.
Fucking like I had one birthday. I was like, my daughter's birthday. I had $9 to my name, literally.
I'm gonna cry.
I had to bake I went to the dollar store. It's funny. I went to Family Dollars. And I bought all the ingredients for the cake, and I baked that cake that day. I had literally $9 to my name.
Yeah.
And it didn't even bother me. I'm like, I'm gonna get money back again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I would never tell my kids like I'm broke. I've never been like, I don't have it. And I find it.
Right. And so
it's like I appreciate both sides.
Right. So and the reason why I told both sides of the story, because we were fortunate until we weren't. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I'm living this lifestyle until we can't. Like it's not like mommy and daddy all of a sudden just decided to start giving us stuff. They start telling us why they couldn't.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, as a 10-year-old, I stopped asking for what I wanted.
Y'all can kill it.
Oh, you want it? Yeah. But I feel like.
Did you say no? And then
I said, oh. But no. But I'm saying, so my thing as a child, and I'm the conscious kid. Like I said, I asked for a cake and a card. Mm-hmm. My brother asked for a PS4.
See, I'd never do that.
He's materialistic. And even to this day, John, shout out to you. Even to this day,
I love you.
My brother loves the finest things. And regardless of whatever the F is happening, he gonna get the finest things. That's how my grandmother was. Rest her soul, I never met her. But my mom told me that John got his taste from his grandmother. Because it's finest everything. We don't buy cheap shit. If you can't afford it, first of all, if it's not designer, you're not buying it.
Yeah.
That's how my grandmother was. In the fucking 1950s, 60s, and 70s before she died. And imagine what kind of shit was going on then that was like prestigious or whatever. Like, I don't even think Louis Vuitton existed. You know what I'm saying?
The finest clothes.
You feel me? So my brother is like really finest, blah, blah, blah. But my thing was, I had money anxiety because I was looking out for them.
Yeah.
At 10.
That was me.
That was heavy for me. Like, I can't ask for what I not that I can't ask for what I don't want to. I don't want to hear no, and I don't want to make them feel bad for saying no. I got yelled at for asking for $1. Like, I have serious money issues. Mm-hmm. I asked my dad for $1, he didn't have it. He yelled at me for asking for a fucking $1. This nigga could have went around the whole house and found 4 quarters for a real nigga. To be honest, we losing change everywhere.
Yeah.
But because he didn't have it and because he felt bad for not having it, the frustration turned into yelling at you. And so
he's not even mad at you. He's mad at himself for not having it. He's mad at himself
for not having it. And I didn't learn that shit till after college.
Yeah.
So think about the type of the trauma, the financial trauma that we take our kids through, unknowing that we're actually doing that. So that's my only thing when it comes to money anxiety is like the way it was taught to me. Okay, cool. Now I have to worry about, okay, don't ask for this. Don't ask for this. Don't ask for this because I'm helping the family out. Like, I was not a selfish kid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want for much. John's gifts was Xboxes and PlayStations and laptops. Like, I was perfectly fine with Password Journal. That was $14 at Walmart. I had all the Password Journals. Since Password Journal 1, I had all of them. Password Notes, nigga. Like, I had them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about how my family was going to do if I got a gift that I really wanted. Yeah. You know? And I feel like a 10-year-old should not be thinking of that. Although it was considerate. Yeah. Now I'm considerate to a fault. And it's like, how do I get what I feel like I deserve? Because I'm balling. I'm always based on a budget that somebody can't do it for me.
Exactly.
So
even when
I'm
it comes to
stifling
men,
myself.
even when it comes to men,
but
I think that's where she's going with it, because we've had that discussion before, where it's like me and you together, like we're in a relationship, and if you ask me if I need anything, I'm just like, nah, I'm straight.
But you
like,
damn sure need gas.
But I do. I could totally use, and Mini Cooper, I use the highest one for my car. So, and I need to fill my tank. It's like, on a bad day, it's $40. On a good day, it's $32. So, I could use
some gas.
But it's a weirdness there to do that. But I didn't blame that on, in my case for that, that's not on what you went through, which hearing this honestly opened my eyes to that. Yeah. But in my situation with that, it's just on, my mom was very big on make sure you have everything you need so you don't need a nigga for shit.
True.
Yeah. And so this is where mine came from. So it's like, well, no, like, a nigga can never sway me with money. What's money? Yeah. I have money. Like, you can't sway me with a car. I have the car I want. I bought it off the lot. You can't sway me with a home. I own my home. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that came from. But then with the kid part, like, I knew my mom was broke, but it was just me and my mom. So it is what it is. And I didn't ask for much either, but I know when Christmas came around, I had all the babies and I had all the Barbies. And when I did good on a spelling test, and she's probably like you on the strength of, I got to find a way to do this for my kid. Yeah, because my kid did really good on the spelling test this week, and she got 100%. So let me buy her something to reward good behavior, et cetera, et cetera. To go back to what we were talking about with our daughters or whatever, there's certain struggles that I had to go through with my mom while she never told me she didn't have it. Or I could tell, I don't know, maybe she did. I can't say for sure she never told me she didn't have it. Yeah. But what I always say is my dad wasn't around, and I never felt like I was missing out on something by not having him there, or by only having a mom. My mom took very, very, very good care of me. I'm lucky enough to have a baby daddy that I'm not with, but he's a great dad, so we have that. But Mia would be the same way. I'd raise her the same way. My mama didn't make me want for shit, aside from shit that I wasn't allowed to have yet, like these acrylic nails. Yeah. But I tell my mom, and my mom tells other people this story to this day. Leah told me years later how happy she was that she did get to grow up in Jamaica. I used to walk so far from school to my house every day twice until I was old enough to have a little pocket change. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to take taxi, because blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to walk. I didn't want to be sweaty, but this was my life. And all I worry about with that is Mia's going to be set up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm about to set her own little bank account up. We're going to talk about, okay, you need this much money to make this much. Let's do the math. Me doing things like this is my this is my equivalent to throwing you in Jamaica. We're going to do a little business with you. You want to do this? This is what it takes to do this. So no, it's not as easy as mommy's going to do everything for you, because I'm not. And dad not going to do it because he's the fun dad. And this requires too much discipline to do it. So it has to be me. And all the money I'm putting up for me, I'm telling me, sis, you owe me money. And she was like, Mommy, I don't want to give you money. No, sis, it's a business loan. Mommy has 3 businesses. So it's a business loan. Because this is how it is. You don't just get shit for free as an adult. Yeah. And you set your kid up to believe that mommy's going to always be there for you. God forbid something happens to be, I'm not going to be there for my kid, which is literally like my greatest fucking fear. While I'm here, I want to give her the same lessons my mom gave me as best as I can while those experiences aren't still there. You need to be able to provide for yourself. You need to be able to take care of yourself. You don't get shit for free. Everything you have, you're going to have to fucking work for it. I never had the depressed phase because shit, we was always fucking struggling. I was always a single parent household. So this was always the case.
It's a different story.
Yeah, it's a whole different story, and Mia's not going to have that story. She still has a single parent household, but she spends multiple days at Dada's house and multiple days at Mommy's house. You get what I'm saying? We switch. It's way different. Yeah. We switch it back and forth, and so it's not as nice as I would have liked with the 2-parent household. Yeah. But it's not as tough or as unnice as I would have liked, where it's just me and my mama. Sis got it figured out. So this is what I'm saying. You're set up to a way to be too okay, and there's not many tough things. Like Mia's tough things is, damn, I can't go to the pool this weekend. Like, this is Mia's tough. Me and my mom have had situations where we've had to sleep in a fucking car. This is what the fuck I've come from. You get what I'm saying? So she ain't got to sleep in a car. Right. Let me finish the statement. She doesn't have to sleep in a car to get these experiences, but I feel like as a parent, I need to find ways to teach the same lessons that I was taught, while it won't be as dire. We won't be sleeping in a car, but I need to find a way to instill these few little things. These are little life-changing moments, little milestones for me that humbled me in a different way and made me appreciate shit a different way. Mia definitely feels like money damn near grows on trees. I've humbled her enough to get it, but like one of the things Mia wanted was $100 fucking. I did buy it, but up until Christmas Day, Mia thought we wasn't finna fucking get it, and I had to try to get her in the mindset of, We have to talk about literally unfortunate people who don't have this and that. And she just started learning about homeless people. And she's like, oh my gosh, people don't have homes. Yes. And there's little kids who don't have mommies and daddies. Like, you're very fortunate. And she says it to me now with me saying this type of shit to her as of last year. There's some kids who don't have mommies and daddies. Yeah. And she's literally come to me all on her own. Mommy, I'm so happy that I have a mommy. Baby, and I'm happy I have you. I have to find a way to put those little gems in any way I can because I more so care about the kind of adult that I'm going to make. Yeah. The kind of adult that I'm going to give to the world one day. Not just a nigga, but the kind of adult I'm going to present to somebody. Mm-hmm. I would rather try to present as Micah-like of a bitch as I can. Micah's truly informed. We're doing everything we can to make... It's not even that. I'm just going to tell her it's HBCU. Yeah. We care about black colleges and this and that. I get the setup part because I'm trying to have it set up where money won't really be an issue. But what am I guess I get scared about what am I taking away from you in making sure you're so set up that you oblivious. You know what I mean? You oblivious to what the fuck else it could be. Let's encompass all this shit.
Yeah.
Let's HBCU the fuck out, but let's credit inform you the fuck out. Let's hard work is gonna be required when you get out of school. You the fuck out. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what fears me. And she ain't gonna ever get this Jamaican life because my mama swears she's moving back, but she ain't left yet. Carlem, she's still here. So
I think it all boils down to the to the mentality. Like I always tell my friends that like I have pretty much all my friends for some odd reason we all have girls. And
you're sluts, allegedly.
Did you just say odd reason?
Yeah.
Because that means they're hoes. Like, that's his point. Mm-hmm.
And one thing I always say is, like, when you really sit there and think about it, men typically have a type of female that they don't like.
Okay.
Right? For me, at least.
Most of you. All of you.
And usually that type of female is... Because... Oftentimes, you'll talk to a female for like 10 minutes, you could tell who her dad is.
Damn.
You have an idea of her dad. Right?
Oh, wow.
And that pisses me off.
What if you like her dad?
No. Because over time, I'm like, damn, I'm this bad.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're creating this girl.
Because you could always tell that is the girl because they have...
certain little things. Yeah. Okay.
And
I've never heard this. This is exciting.
For me, it's like, as long, like I said, I don't like the word humble. I don't use the word humble because I feel like how society uses humble and how I use humble
negative.
Is two things. Because how society uses humble is if I work hard and get to a certain level, I should bring myself down to your level for not doing it.
Right.
Me, that's not humble.
I like it, friend.
Humble is if I make $1 million, as long as I treat the janitor as the same way I treat the CEO, I can buy a yacht, a boat, jet, fucking Rolls Royces that I don't need to drive, and I'm still humble.
Yeah,
I can do it.
They don't tell white men to be humble.
You get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. With my kids, it's like I spoil them, but I don't know if it's because of their mom. Like, I remember, actually, real story, yesterday, my daughter, she was like, she wants a camera. Like, I used to be, like, since she was a kid.
I'm doing it for my sister, too, yeah.
She's like, I want to take, well, she's bougie. She was saying, she needs a...
Professional?
She want a Nikon, Canon
like,
type
the
shit.
environment and animals and everything, right? So she's like,
great kid.
Well, Daddy, I need a camera because since I'm going to be traveling all over the world to see animals, I need something. I'm like, okay, cool.
Because you're going to pay for it, Daddy. So fine, Dad.
She looked at my phone and I was looking for cameras. And she was like, oh my gosh, it's $100 and something. Like, don't waste your money. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, what I really want is like $300-400.
Shit, my camera was like $400.
Like, okay, cool.
I like the way you
she
think
has that sense. She got that from her mom because
Jamaican gang.
So it's like for me, as long as you,
it's there somewhere.
I don't ever want them to feel like okay, they're better than anybody. You know
right.
Like I'm gonna work hard for you to have a better life than I have, but at the same time, and like my kids, they're real. Like business oriented, like that's she draws. Great. Like I want to. She be selling her drawings. I don't tell her that. She do it on her own. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
what you show them now.
As you have that type of mentality, I'ma spoil you because I don't like spoiled kids.
Right,
like, if you feel like you deserve this
it's
shit,
entitlement.
I'm not giving it to you.
Yes, that's the word. Entitlement. Yes.
Yeah.
Entitlement.
But
yes.
I feel like I should make your life easier because
definitely.
one thing about me is like, as far as school, like when you look at black kids and white kids, right? A lot of times black kids, they have an issue with going to school for long. Because they're poor. Like, we don't have no money. We want money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was, like, in middle school, I wanted to be a surgeon. Because, you know, the whole Haitian thing is just medical.
Doctor
That's
or lawyer.
right? Yes.
So I want to be a surgeon in middle school. By the time I got to high school, because really, I was supposed to go to Ely. I got accepted to Ely on their medical thing.
Thank you for coming to this
That year, they canceled the no school on Friday. So I'm like, well,
what's the point?
If I got to go to school on Friday,
I might as well go right here.
Be with my friends. Right?
Yeah.
So by the time I got to high school, I'm like, you know what? The surgeon thing, 12 years. That
seems like a lot.
I can't go that long without no money. So I dropped it to a doctor. By the time I got to a sophomore, I'm like, all right, let me just go be a RN, be a nurse, and then I'll work my way up. You feel me? Where I feel like I had some parents where they could have paid for my school the whole time and actually give me a nice card that just make me comfortable in college. I wouldn't care how long I'm going to school for.
Because you're straight.
I don't need no money.
Right.
So my thing was, if I can give them that level of comfort, then I don't think they would really be in a rush. They would have anything against schooling.
That's great.
So my thing is,
that's
most other with generational wealth,
and
old money, that's how their kids thrive.
Yeah.
When given the right attention, because it can go both ways. I can give you all the money, I can give all the resources, and then you end up shooting up a high school. So like, if you really want to go, far on the spectrum, it can really go either way when you give your kids everything.
It's like dependence, all the money, but nurture or not, because if you are, so like, I'll be gone every weekend, but you got hella money.
Yeah.
Right. And then mom is home. She's a stay-at-home mom, but she's checked out because she's unhappy. So like, there's so many like different levels of people who are raising these children in these affluent neighborhoods and families. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what you guys both said. You're giving your children. I'm not a parent. You're giving your children what you didn't have, but you're also trying to instill in them what you had, which they'll never experience, and they won't.
Because we want better for them than what we had.
But even going back to Jamaica, it won't be the same as when you was there.
Right, I said it. They got hot water there.
Haiti, it won't be the same as you was there.
And the funny thing is, I had a better life in Haiti than I had in America. And in Haiti, I would say I was middle class in Haiti. When I came to America, I was poor.
So
right, you were in poverty.
Because it's a class system.
You were in poverty.
Right. So it's like last name means a lot, and your family, whatever they build, that's everything, right? So my thing is, being a child of both, like an affluent household. My mother was a doctor, whatever. My dad did not. He had some college. He went to college though. He got a high school diploma, whatever. Yeah. But my thing is, I learned that shit later on in life when it was being.
We're trying to take effect. Yeah.
To my life and my bills. Remember, when you leave, you leave. You get your own bills. You got to rent. You got to You got your car note. You got to whatever.
Yeah, light bill, insurance. You got that dumb shit.
Whatever. So like, those things set in when I did leave, and when I came back, I was fortunate enough to have a parent that didn't mind me being here until she minded me being here. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as parents, like, I totally agree with giving your children more than what you had. But it's being creative in how to give them what they don't have, and teaching them lessons that they won't learn.
They wouldn't learn
because they won't learn it because they're not gonna grow up how you're growing up because of the situation that you built for them. So I always say, like, don't be hard on yourself as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be intentional. Yeah. Whatever you're trying to give your kid, frame that in a way they can understand. Right. So like what you said, like, Mia understands. Okay, baby, like, all right, $100 is this much. And if this happens, blah, 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 cool. She thinks she ain't finna get this gift. And then she gets it for Christmas. This is a privilege. Oh, my God, Mommy, how did you afford this? Like, whatever goes through her mind, it was created through something that you did because, all honesty, you probably could afford it.
I literally bought it. It was in the fucking living room for like 2 months.
So my thing is not about what you can afford. It's not about what you can give. It's about the intentional lesson behind everything. So like if we just focus on intention, then we'll be good. You feel me? So I feel like most parents who come into this don't think about intention. They think about, well, I don't want you to think it's so. I don't want you to think it's sweet. I don't want you to think that everything like glitters is gold. Like they come into kind of in a negative.
They're so well off that like that doesn't cross their mind, because think about for some reason this is crossing my mind. Think about City Girls, Young Miami, right? Now, I won't comment on her parenting because I don't know. Like, sis pregnant right now, about to have another kid. But you think about, I've seen pictures of, she's about to pop like tomorrow. Yeah. So, but she has a son already, and little man she literally bought him like a diamond gold chain the other day, and it says like his name or some shit's like words. He's literally like 5 or 6. And he, of course, he got on like a Louis fit or a Gucci or whatever the fuck. And
don't even know what it means.
He don't know what none of this shit mean. We're gonna buy you a car for your 7th birthday that you can't drive until you're 15 in Florida or other places where you get permits at 15.
But that's poverty setting in.
It's dumb as fuck.
But that's poverty setting in.
Yeah, poverty mindset, right?
So think about it. I never escape poverty mindset if I think I'm never gonna be like overcome it. Right? Yeah. So like I'm constantly instilling it to everybody around me. Money is this, money is that. I'm gonna throw this, I'm gonna get you, You're not overcoming it. You're trying to run from something that you're afraid of being again. And now that you come into money, you don't know money. You don't know money. Yeah. If you knew money, you wouldn't do that dumb shit. You wouldn't give a Rolls Royce to a 5-year-old. That don't make sense. They'll break that shit and then it'll cost even more to fix. So like when you think about all the grand scheme of things, like people do not think through things and they do not grow from when they're reared. Like therapy is very important.
And it depends on your rearing, because you got to think about it like this. We are, as much as we love this word, woke, we're a little bit more woke than others, if you would, right? So we come up on $1 million each. This would not affect us as it affects somebody who isn't as aware. You know what I'm saying? Like they are gonna go out and buy 17
I wouldn't even think I'm rich.
If I have only $1 million, there's so many things I gotta. I'm paying off my house. I'm paying off my car.
Everything that you have to pay for before you think about yourself, and then you're gonna invest.
Yes,
and then you're gonna build a company.
Other blacks that probably aren't as aware of these type of things would never think about that. All them ROH that you talk about, you would have been in, you'd have ripped them shits. Here go this, here go that, here go this, whatever. They would never think about these type of things. And when we have a Haitian, we have a Jamaican, we have an American. We're all on the same wave when it comes to these type of things. We're just aware for whatever reason. However Micah got aware, however I got aware, however you got aware. So all of our kids will ultimately still be better off than the masses.
Right.
And what I meant to say to you was, you are a dad and you're going to do what you want to do. And your mom, you credit their mom for giving them these little random things that you was like, I didn't tell them that, but maybe there was a mom doing that or whatever. Off me talking to you about that, I credit that to my daughter's dad, because he's essentially you. He spoils them too, and it spoils her too, and blah, 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 blah. And so your daughters, just like my daughter, are getting both ends, whether I know it or not. You get what I'm saying? Like I am the disciplinary in our co-parenting synopsis, and he is the one that just tries to make sure she doesn't take everything too serious and she doesn't overburn herself and blah blah blah. Your kids are still getting what it is that I was talking about through their mother, and at the end of the day, y'all their parents, and you guys are still instilling exactly what they need. That was a nice little point. This will make me take it a little easier on Manny. Now, and this is the point of conversation.
At the end of the day, this how I look at it with the whole nice.
That's her ass not gonna
good cop, bad cop, right? At the end of the day, since there is a bad cop, there's still gonna be discipline,
right?
But what you do, for me, how I look at it is like, okay, I'm the one that she's gonna tell everything to.
Everything,
right?
And that's like, to me, that's worth more than whatever discipline I could give you. Just fact where
we need somebody to do it.
Just keep it a buck with me, and you'll never get in trouble. And I've got that to that point with my kids. I'm like, listen, if you keep it honest with me, I'm gonna make sure your mom don't
stay off your back
around you.
Yeah.
And they got to the point where it's like, you know what? If I tell daddy the truth, he's gonna talk to mommy, and we're gonna be cool. So I get the truth, because in this world, with girls, that's more important than anything else.
I can see that.
Because you have situations where it's like, oh, don't tell such and such and such and such. Nah, I need
Oh
that.
So listen. So before we wrap this up,
right? You see me plugging zero.
So before we wrap this up, a father of two. Are you straight? How old are your kids? 7.
They're about to be 8 and 6.
8 and 6.
Yeah, next month.
All right, so hypothetical. How are you going to talk to your kids? And you can keep this very brief. And I just thought about this because you're a father of 2 girls. And Tarsha is starting the daddy's girls. She's starting the daddy's little, daddy says I'm beautiful type thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like having 2 girls, right? How do you feel like you're going to tell them the real? Because I feel like my dad didn't tell me nothing. And I lived with him for majority of my life. So how are you going to tell them the real of what happens with dating and guys?
I feel like at a certain age, you just have to keep it a buck.
And what is a buck? Like,
what is the age?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
the age?
What's the age?
For
What's
me,
the buck?
I think about like
12.
About 12, 13.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing. Like,
middle school kids are
hormones get a little
everybody
spicy.
everybody try to be protective of their kids, right? But I have to look at it based on me. Like how you said the whole 16-year-old at the eighth grade thing. By the time I was in the 7th grade, most of my friends were waiting to be 16 to drop out. So I knew everything about sex. I know everything about drugs. I know everything about everything. So I feel like around that 12, 13-year-old, you know everything that your parents think you don't know. So we could talk about sex. You know about sex.
Yeah, exactly.
If I knew about sex at
17 years ago,
you're gonna know about sex at 12. And
yeah,
anybody that knows me, I don't sugarcoat nothing. So I'm gonna tell you, and I always tell people that, like, I never wanted girls. To this day, I would never. If I had to go back, as much as I love my daughters, if I had to go back, I'll have sons because it's much easier. Because
to be straight with the son.
I don't have the answer. I can tell you everything that I know about men. I can tell you everything that I know about myself.
Honestly,
but babe,
that makes a
that's
lot
the
of sense.
answer.
All the whole shit that I've done in life. And how you could read certain shit, I still don't have the answer.
But that's the answer.
But it's not an answer.
It's just gonna make
it makes it hard.
So I don't believe so. So
Think
my thing
about
is,
you had a kid.
Go ahead.
Look,
go ahead. Tell me what you was gonna say, because I have a totally different mindset about it.
I run into those girls where it's like, oh, you had a good dad.
And what is a good dad? Tell me the example of it.
The good dad that we don't like, or the girl that grew up with brothers, she peeps game. But then you have somebody like me. I have 50 million ways to skin the cat.
Right.
I already know that you peep game, so I'm not coming at you.
You're going around that.
I'm coming at a different angle.
Right.
So whatever I need from you, it doesn't matter what type of upbringing you want. If that's what I really need, I'm still going to get it because I'm patient.
And my thing is, do you say that to your kid?
That's what I'm going to tell them.
Exactly. So my thing is, okay.
There's no way of me
protecting her. You can't protect her from everything. Like, I'm not even trying to be real, right?
Heartbreak
is coming.
Is inevitable.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not
it's
telling
coming.
you how not to get heartbreak.
Exactly.
I'm going to teach you how to get over it.
Exactly.
Fuck that nigga. You have a whole life ahead of you.
That's good.
And 5 years from now,
that's good.
However you feeling right now, you're not going to feel bad. So, take a month, take 2 months, grief, cry, whatever the fuck you need to do.
Right.
Fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
Move the fuck on.
Right.
Get about your money. And when you start hitting your late 20s, 30s, you'll realize that shit didn't mean nothing.
Right. And honestly, if you tell her that shit from
12, I'm gonna tell her
exactly. Then it won't. She'd learn that quicker. It wouldn't even take that long.
She's still gonna cry, but
but you trust me. You can limit me being depressed with a nigga for 3 months to a week.
Yeah.
If she knows this from 12,
she peeps from 12.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. I was just like, at the end of the day, there's a certain way that you can talk to somebody about something.
Yeah.
You can coddle the shit. You can make it sound pretty as fuck, but
I've never been that.
But to be real, if you're gonna be real, you're gonna be a real ass daddy, babe. I can't teach you this shit because these niggas is being crafty every day. Yeah. Saying that's gonna make her on higher alert.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, she may question everything, but my thing is, I don't care what she questions before 21, when logic starts to set in and when what she wants starts to really register, Because we really don't know what we want at 18. I didn't know what I really wanted at 18. I was dealing with a nigga who was talking to me like crazy. So, like, if my dad told me something, he told me nothing. And she didn't even have her dad around. So, my thing is, if you give them something to even base what the fuck is happening off of, it will help.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, like, prevent teenage heartbreak because that shit's gonna happen.
I don't think there's
I'm gonna love that nigga, and I don't care what my mama say. I don't care what my sister say. I don't care what my mother. I'm going to love him, and he loves me. We're together
forever
and forever.
I like what you said, where you were just like, I don't have the answer, because every time, and I'm 29, and I just had a nigga that I done loved since I was 16 try me for the umpteenth fucking time, and the question I would constantly ask is, why the fuck would you do me like this, nigga? I'm always be, but and that's the point. So for you saying, and I believe this now, but for you saying from then, I don't have the answer, because this nigga don't have the answer. I guarantee you call this nigga right now, he probably have nothing but lovely things to say about me, and he still don't know why the fuck he operate the way he operate. He older than me,
and it's probably because of the way he saw other men treat women.
Probably.
Because children learn based on what they're shown.
When it comes to what you say to your daughters, that to me is a very good thing to say, because that's a question as a young girl I constantly ask myself. Why? It's always a why. Why is this happening? Why? If we can establish from the get-go, I don't have the answer as to why. Yeah. And honestly, baby girl, they probably don't either. But you got to get over the why. Like, don't dwell on the why. Let's just dwell on the fact that this shit probably gonna happen another 66 times, right? So that's good. I feel like if you can get that and nip that and just get that off already, we don't know why, right? As a man who done did whatever I done did, I can't even tell you why the fuck I done made some decisions I made. Like, that makes it sense. Like, damn, dad, you been an ain't shit ass nigga, yeah, baby.
And the sad thing is kind of like that's where it's a plus to be the ain't shit ass nigga, because I've been there. My father never been the ain't shit ass nigga, so he could never really explain to my sister certain shit because he's never done it. So he probably never had no friends that's done it.
Yeah, he don't know what the fuck to say.
And the only downfall is that I've seen is later on in life, like when I start meeting women my age now that still have that mentality, it's like they're too much of a savage.
Yes.
And I don't have 4 or 5 months to give you to prove to you that I'm not that ain't shit nigga.
But
so
my
sometimes
thing is,
2 weeks I'm like, fuck you.
So it could be savage and it could be bitterness.
It's protection too. Honestly, it's a wall.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yes, and that's the word. Thank you. This phrase.
And so at the end of the day, I feel like if more truth was being told by the fathers and even mentors, like, I had staff members at my Boys and Girls Club that weren't my dad. Yeah. And they put me on game on certain shit. Like, they randomly said, hey, stop following this nigga. Like, just randomly, right? So, like, you peep what's happening. I'm fucking 10. I'm on a swim team. And I'm feeling somebody, whatever, and you see it. Stop following him. Let him follow you. Like, little stuff like that spoke out to me. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start following him.
I'm going to go.
I do that to my homegirls.
You know what I'm saying? It's just small thing. And, like, honestly, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the opposite attracting. But women take advice from men 10 times better than they take from other women. And it's a little annoying, but at the same time, I get it. It's a different perspective. You walk a different light.
We be knowing.
You know what I'm saying? But women still have insight that other women can learn from. But I feel like because the hierarchy of a man and what it means to feel like a lot of women just be like,
but not in,
because it's the man is gold. Like, I feel like a lot of women do that. So if you got the advantage, then you might as well just.
When I feel like if you think about it in dating, if I'm trying to understand why a man is treating me this way, I would probably be quicker to ask a man, have you ever treated a woman this way? Yeah, I have. Okay, well, why the fuck did you do it? Because a woman standpoint, I'm going to give her the same, I don't know, sis. I don't know why he did me this way. I was good to that nigga, too. And I don't know why, I have a coworker, a friend of mine, and he comes to me for advice about whatever. He would go through women all the time, and he come to me on some, let me ask Leah. He assumes everybody's unfaithful in the world except me. This is how his logic is at this point. Wow. So he don't trust no fucking body, and I'm like, this is gonna be a tough time for you. You're gonna have a tough time have these relationships.
He probably had a bad relationship.
He's battered.
He's had a few,
but
and he ain't been worse shit either. He ain't been worse shit
those
either.
are the worst.
Yeah, them the worst ones because they nervous about what the fuck they've done.
But you can't gauge anything because I've like that. I have experience with that where I had somebody I was with since I was 15.
Beautiful.
Up until I was like probably 22, and that was like my first love, right? Mm-hmm. Her issue with me is that I try to gauge our relationship based off my parents. Like she used to tell me that every day. She's like, "Listen, you're trying to have what your parents have, but that's
not how this shit go.
That's not how it goes." Then I'm like, "Nah, that's not
what I'm doing, boo."
Then with her, everybody I've had after her, I try to gauge my relationship with what I had with her. So it's like me and her, we to this day, like actually today, me and her, like,
today actually,
she's married.
Oh, shout out to her.
We still talk on a regular, right? And if I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, well, I talk to my ex like an hour a day. So if I can't, if 20 minutes into our conversation with the new person now, it starts to get boring. You're just not meant for me because I can understand that. I never had that issue with my ex, and you can't look at it like that. It'll never work with anybody else
because different connections are different connections.
Exactly.
But I also understand the idea of I give this a certain amount of time and something just doesn't click and something just doesn't click,
and that's it. And dead it.
Yeah. With men, I think men, a lot of times they trying to compare too much shit. It's like,
they do.
My ex look better than her
because they so fucking hurt all the time.
Like
sorry for lack of a better phrase.
It is.
Y'all niggas don't know how to varietize
and they don't know how to. We don't know how to
move the fuck on. Sorry, because I only say that because the moment a man gets hurt, it's all over.
Oh my god, it's the end of the world.
But like at the end of the day, like women are adaptable, right? Like we know how to deal with hurt, we know how to deal with pain, we know how to deal with surgery, we know how to deal with childbirth. Like we're just so adaptable. That's the only word I can come up with. But men, you're coddled to your emotions, right? Yeah. So we're always catering to what you feel to make sure you don't feel underprivileged. Yeah. To make sure you don't feel unwanted. Like it's just so many things that we cater to men for. And my thing is the moment a man gets hurt, I shun the world. Like it's just so fucking dramatic. Yeah. Like for lack of a better phrase, it's dramatic.
But they don't have, in my experience, I feel like
they don't have the emotional capacity to
they don't have no way to cope with it. Cause
I get it.
I have a lot of homegirls, right? And I make and I realize that with me, I probably have 2 female friends that's as equally as close to maybe the 3 closest of my homeboys. Mm-hmm. When I'm dealing with something like emotionally, I don't call my niggas like, yo, dog, this bitch really cheated on me, bro. I call my homie, guess what, I call my homegirl like, yo, this bitch really did this.
So,
shit,
but what if you change the narrative and call your dog?
I don't see. I'm not the dog to call though, cause I'm gonna be like, yo.
No, you.
Nah, I'm saying I don't know. It all depends.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like
because they might not give me see.
But y'all should try each other on some shit of making y'all better people all around.
But this is the thing. When I call my homegirls, I know they're gonna give me the best advice from
emotional standpoint. I totally get it.
Just being neutral, where.
Really?
Even if you hit, because she's like, okay, all right. When I hit if I hit my homegirls up, like, so what did you do? Your homeboys is never gonna ask you what you did if you came to him. She did what? What? She was talking to a nigga, man. Fuck that hoe, bro. Fuck her. That's what my homegirl is always gonna be like, what did you do first? That's gonna be the first thing. What did you do?
We know what it feels like.
Exactly. So then she's gonna give you like, okay, well,
this is what you do.
You're gonna think your homeboy is just gonna gas you. Like you call somebody like me, I might just gas you up. Like, man, fuck her, bro. Let's go out. Let's go find you a new bitch to get. You
never want to deal with shit. But I'm saying, so my thing was, I just want to challenge you. Mm-hmm. and challenge your homeboys to be in the emotional capacity that you need him to be in.
But men, I mean, that's something I feel like men need to work on.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Just challenge your friend circle. Be on some very emotional shit like, what the fuck, bro? Like, I feel like blah, blah, blah. And when he gives you the answer, you be like, really, bro? Did you love the bitch last month? Blah, 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 blah. Like,
it all depends on what
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you.
I challenge.
Let me tell you the type of friends I have.
Me and my friends challenge each other all the time. We come to each other with some random shit that we're not ready for. And we have 3 new friends that have a 3 set of new problems.
It all depends.
And we're not used to dealing with those type of problems. But we dead ass are trying to figure it out.
But that's what I'm saying. It all depends what type of male friends. Let me tell you the type of male friends I have. I'll go on the chat, right? This is a real story. I went on the chat. I'm like, listen, guys. I just sent some flowers to somebody, and this is a new way I tried.
That's beautiful. I'm so proud of you.
Cheaper. You know what the first question was? Did you fuck? I'm like,
yeah, that's the nigga.
I'm like, what?
I did.
I'm like, it cost me $30. Like, did you fuck? I'm like, no, I didn't fuck. I'm like, it cost me $30.
That is a very nigga way to process stuff. Well, they can't hear me, sorry.
That's how a lot of niggas think, though. Like, chivalry really is that, like, there's a lot of things where I do.
Tell me that, Carlem.
No, seriously, there's a lot of things that I do, like, I'm Haitian, so it's like we're like super chivalrous, right? We hoes, but we like good hoes.
I'm about to say, because I heard y'all was worse than us.
Yeah, but we good hoes. We romantic.
Everybody told me if I'm finna date a Haitian.
We romantic.
Why?
Hoes.
What do y'all do? Y'all cook and shit?
Because they romantic. Even when they cheat, they romantic.
The Haitian gonna cheat, but he's gonna cheat on you when you got a 5-bedroom house in Miramar and you driving a fucking Benz with a fucking tutor.
And who you cheating on me with? A disrespectful bitch that's gonna tell me every day?
That's you cheating on. You'll never know. She knows about you, but she'll.
Carlem, I ain't set up this way.
When you call her, she gonna tell you that's my cousin. See, that's the difference with the Haitian man. They dogs. I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna say that. Every Haitian I know is a dog, but they just
including yourself.
Not me, but you know they got principles on how they would.
Okay. All right, guys. We're wrapping this one up. Okay. Thank you so much, Carlem. Thank you so much, Beth.
Big Mike.
Thank you so much. This has been another riveting episode of Let Us Say It For You. Thanks so much.